All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back here this Thursday afternoon here, this March 29th. Welcome on back here for this afternoon meeting. Great to see all of our students and members alike inside our live trading room. Great to have all of us back on social, though, as well. Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, the works. Let me know if I can get a quick sound check here from all of us collectively. There we go. Perfect. Good to see from Jeff and Phil, at least our students inside the chat board, loud and clear from them. Mark and Dan included. You got Wilson and Patrick. A lot of us still with us here. Perfect. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, if you took a small break going into the afternoon, rightfully deserved. It was a pretty good morning, but otherwise it was a pretty slow afternoon until right now. So, we have the stock ADCT, I guess we'll kind of nickname it like Addict ADCT, but ADC therapeutic company ended up making a nice pop just now, up over 16%. I like the move. I like the order book. Sometimes you hear me complain about the order book, big spread, thin volume out there. Not the case here. Looks pretty good. I'm definitely going to put this on our watch list just to begin. I was kind of just hawking it, sizing it up going into this meeting. It's not really one that we've ever really traded before, actually. The stock does seem to trade like fairly decent volume day to day, though. Like, I don't know the average, but there are definitely plenty of days where it's cracking over 1 million shares at least. So, it's nice to see. It's the stock that took a huge hit from the midway point of last year at minimum. Oh, this thing took a huge hit from like 2020. Huge drop off from 55 plus all the way down to was that sub 2, sub 1 right there? Yeah, broke all-time lows just even from last week. It was continuing to break lows, but then just having a nice little bounce here for the meantime. So, it's definitely more of a day trade. It's a short squeeze. It's going to dump right back down at some point over time. But hey, as a day trade, looks pretty damn nice to me. So I'll put this on our watch list to start. Chuck calling out AFRM making a pop. Hey, if that's on the gainers side or on the losers, either way, we'll run into it, I'm sure. Let's just go from top to bottom. Otherwise, folks, quick reminder for all of our gold, platinum, and diamond students. We got the Phase 3 stock course coming up at 3:05 Eastern Time later on this afternoon. So I'll be trading with you folks going into the market close. It was a pretty good class yesterday. We ended up doing pretty well on the VKTX, got about 30 to 35 cents in between there, before 4 p.m. So, not the giant runner that we were looking for, but it moved up and it was a nice trade. So hopefully more of that from where it came from heading into class. But let's see what else we got. The Toro stock here up big. This thing was all over the map early in the morning, made a big pop. It dumped right back down. But then thankfully it ended up, making a second move back up, flattened out quite a bit heading into the early to mid afternoon, then broke higher. So again, pushed up pretty nicely. Whoops, what happened there? Yeah, pushed up pretty nicely, just under 290, 288, the high there for the time being. And, granted, still holding over the VWAP price, building back up here for right now. It doesn't hurt us for the meantime to put this on our main list. If it only dumps off from this point forward, then I could probably scrap it off. But for right now, I'll make the cut. Got a bunch of these cheapy stocks below $1, kind of littering the top of the gainer side here, just kind of ignoring them, skipping over them. Go back to my daily chart here for BCLI. BCLI ended up having a nice pop from earlier this morning. Still kind of near the highs for the time being, right? It's like grinding on up, but I don't know. I feel like there's going to be a better opportunity than that. Keep it going here rather quick. KOD, Kodiak, right? There's KODK, then there's KOD. This stock, if you've been in the trading room over the last couple of years, the last year and a half, I'd imagine, then you should remember the stock. This thing took a shellacking. Ended up dropping off from end of February last year. Big gap down, as you can clearly see. It was breaking all-time lows. It was shortable. Then. It was a nice trade, but this stock does have a nice gap to fill eventually. It ended up trying to make that gap fill from last year, but pulled back down even further. Again, kind of similar to the ADCT trade. It's a stock that took a huge hit, trying to make a nice squeeze here on the intraday chart. I would say the same with this as I said on another one that I actually didn't put on the list, the BCLI. It's kind of flat right now, but I feel like there could be a nice run on this one compared to that BCLI, just kind of from experience and just looking at the liquidity here. If it does pop, this does have some nice room to run higher, perhaps right up to 650. China stock here, KC. There's a couple of these that had a nice day today. China stock, China ETF yen ended up having a nice run up from after the open, where the SPY was pretty choppy. So, nice day for a couple of those trades. EVTL, it's at the highs. Maybe I'll come back to this. I'll put it on the side list for right now. I feel like it's a little too slow for us right now. ENVX. All right, good. I meant to click this one. So ENVX, this one I feel is also right near the highs, but setting up for a pretty good move. It's been teasing this breakout over 1350 across the afternoon, kind of similar to the VKTX even yesterday from 1450. But yeah, right now I'll put this on our main list. Looks pretty strong. Good liquidity, checks out pretty nicely. Con, you could say the same as far as the chart. Definitely not trading as much volume per minute on this one, so keep it moving. Oscar, hey, one that is looking mighty fine. One that is looking pretty good here for the time being. Breaking higher right now off of 625. Looks like 610 I had as a chart level, at least from the daily side of things. I probably drew that yesterday. I forget, but either way, Oscar Health, definitely a nice pick here for the afternoon. So far we have 5 stocks on our main list. That's where I say, let's be picky and choosy. You never know what you're going to find here. I had no idea this is breaking higher at this time, so definitely a good find. Hopefully a lot more to come on that one. Lulu, way too expensive either way. SSYS, this stock from pre-market early and dudded off, but it's actually at the regular session highs of the day. It is trying to hold over and break higher off of the 1590 level. 16 is a whole number level that would be next. That's kind of where it's really holding under. But it's potentially a good setup here. Just you want to see more volume get traded on this stock, a lot more than it currently is doing. So and kind of in the sake of trying to be conservative here and picky and choosy, I'll put this on our side list. See if there's anything better. All right. You got UNCY, the stock we did do well on from, as you could see, from midway of February, it looks like, into March. Not really doing a whole lot there on the intraday. And that's fun. All right, so let's hop over to the losers list right now. Market's grinding kind of sideways here, maybe pushing up, maybe actually really quickly if I could. Before I hop over to said losers list, may as well get to it now since I reminded myself just internally here. But AI, we had this on our watch list from earlier this week, and this stock we were calling out all throughout the afternoon so far. So, before I hopped over to the loser side, before this runs up even more, may as well show it to you here. We were calling out resistance on this trade off of 25.88 and 26. We were talking about that from last week in class, right? So AI 25.88 to 26 seems like a pretty good level. That was from 2:20 in the afternoon. I posted that about 18-20 minutes ago in the chat. I'll copy and paste here. Right there. All right. So I would expect that range of resistance, though, to definitely hold. I'm going to put this on the top of our list here for the time being. All right, got a refill on water. A couple stutters aside here. Let's hop over to the losers list here. You got PRQR for right now. Getting crushed. It's pretty flat, though. The only reason I'd be interested in this. Oh, how about that? Wow. I was going to say the only reason I'd be interested in this trade goes to show you never know what you're going to find. I was going to say if the stock was breaking all-time lows, that's definitely a reason to put a cheap stock like this that's shortable onto the watch list. But another reason would be if there's a gap to fill. So this stock has a clear, bright as day gap to fill, as seen on the daily chart from the end of last year into the beginning of January. So, it's very flat on the intraday. So that's the reason I'm most hesitant now. But there is a potential setup should it look to snap lower. I'll put it on our side list here, just kind of brush it off to the end here. If there's nothing else from the losers list that looks good or nothing else otherwise, then I'll probably slip it on there. The others not really showing as great direction on the way down, if anything. They're not down enough to look for a dead cat bounce, in my opinion. That's all right. STEM, great short from earlier today. This has already been dead cat bouncing, though. From the morning. So, bounced pretty early after the market opened up, dropped, and then bounced off of 475, 470-ish there. Really strong run. So, It looks like it's setting up for another move. I like the trend. It's definitely showing good volume per minute. I just don't know if it's down enough to look for that dead cat bounce. I just said that on the others. They're down twice as much as this stock actually is right now. STEM, I'm referring to Blue and SHCR that were down more than this. Hey, it's showing good direction. I like that the most, showing good volume. So I'll put this on our main one. See if this could snap higher off 550, or if it's a false breakout, then pulls back, then that could be your head fake for the short. So, all right. So there is definitely some stocks or tickers that are easy to borrow. Maybe we can try and skim through them really quick and look, but nothing really standing out as a familiar name. Got the stem trade already just before. All right, let me go to social media first. Check out our streams. I was going through my chats right now, my scans rather. So I just want to check in with all of us right there on social media: Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, etc. I'm gonna post my email address in there right now as well. Just Josh at C2 Trading. Always like to post my email there at the end of the streams, if anything. All right, so no comments on social. That's a-okay by me. Latest saying Pack W bank stock coming to test 10 inside our live trading room. So let's take a look at first, only because it's been more of a flavor for me. FRC, more volatile, better opportunity I feel on this lately. Good order book now. And trying to rev back up. It's up over 5% this one now. Let's head over to the, Pack W, which I was a fan of. I was a big fan of Pack W like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and definitely big fan of it right now. So, yeah, Pack W, I'm going to put on our list, and then I'll also put on FRC. That one is definitely worth the opportunity as well, but this one looking better on the way up towards 10. I would expect major resistance off of 10 to hold a couple of times here at first. And, then we'll see if it ends up blasting off higher heading into like 3:30 Eastern. From Chuck, I'm sorry, AFRM. Let's take a look at Chuck's call out from earlier, and it's only popping up even more right now. It's actually up over 10%. Did I? Oh, well, I'm just guess it's not up enough, Chuck. Got a lot of different stocks that are on the gainer side today that are up a lot right now. So that's where we appreciate the teamwork. Really good call right now from Chuck. It's only moving up even more. So I don't think that we're late to the draw on this. I think actually the little extra push right now makes this even more attractive. Right. So definitely good call from Chuck. Just checking the Benzinga scans that I have here. Not much that looks good. Take a look at BBIO. Flat, little pop and drop right there. Definitely not worth watching right now. The EVTL, hey, coming back to our proverbial side list here, EVTL is breaking a new high. I said I'd come back to this if anything. We're going to have a big list. We're going to need a bigger boat. SSYS. I mean, I'm not going to put this on our list now. It's not breaking higher just yet and still trading low volume. So I'm not really as keen on that. And then definitely not on the PRQR. Scrap this. All right. So in total, we got a big list either way. We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, almost a packed house. I try and keep it under 12 at minimum. If anything, I mean, I try and go less than that actually, but as much as we try and keep it simple, if there's a lot of opportunity out there, folks, we got to try and capitalize on as much of it as we can. So with that, I look forward to trading live in front of you folks coming up this afternoon in about 15, 20 minutes, the Phase 3 stock course for any of our gold, platinum, and diamond students. Click that link right there. You're going to be trading live with me heading into the close. You'll see the executions. You'll see the stops like we did yesterday. We killed it on the VKTX. You'll see everything in full. Real deal, folks. All right. Looking forward to it. But otherwise, for all of us on social media, if you're interested in joining our live trading room, that is, maybe not our classes just yet, but hey, if you wanted to test us out, join our live trading room, go right down to the link on the green banner below the stream right there. Sign up for a 1-day free pass with that link right there on the bottom, just for our live trading room, just for a little taste right there. But otherwise, we catch back with you folks later on this afternoon or otherwise tomorrow morning. Take care.